discuss about that the trigonometrical identities. So first of all, what is an identity? So if we see to that identities, then we can say that this is a sort of equation. As you have already known in case of algebra, when we say that x plus y is equal to 2 plus 3x, this is a sort of equation. So similarly, in case of algebra, in case of trigonometry, we have also some sort of equations of the trigonometrical ratios taking a sort of angle A, for which the value A will be true for all sorts of equations. So in case of trigonometrical identities, this is a sort of means equation. So equation, it must be one equation of trigonometrical ratios of certain angle. Say that angle may be A, B, C, D, whatever it may be. Certain angle, say it may be A. So if it is true for all that values A, then we can say that is a sort of trigonometrical identities. And in earlier stages that you must have read about that the different types of trigonometrical ratios, and also you must have known that the trigonometry is applicable for the right angle triangles particularly, and if there will be any other form of the triangles, then in such cases we have to transfer that one, or we have to change that to be one right angle triangle, and then only it can be applicable. Now, as the trigonometrical ratios, as you know, that sine of A, that will be your perpendicular by hypotenuse, or perpendicular with respect to that hypotenuse, or opposite side to that of hypotenuse, and cos, tan, all these trigonometrical ratios that you have already known. Now, summarizingly, we can say that sine of any sorts of angle, let it be sine A, in case of a triangle, say ABC, is a right angle triangle in which, if we want to find out the sine measurement of this angle, then in such cases this is your perpendicular and base, and this is hypotenuse. So in such cases sine A is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. Similarly, cos A, cosine of angle A, that is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Tan, that is perpendicular upon base, and cosec or cosec of A, that is hypotenuse with respect to that of the perpendicular. Secant or sec of A, that is hypotenuse and base, and cotangent or cot, that is base with respect to that of the perpendicular. So likewise, these are your 6 trigonometrical ratios earlier that you have already known. Similarly, you have also known about the reciprocal relations of these trigonometrical ratios, and in such cases the trigonometrical reciprocal relations that also we have seen. Reciprocal relations, we have also seen that sine A into cosec A for angle A, that will be equal to 1, or in other words that sine A is equal to 1 upon cosec A, or cosec A is equal to 1 upon sine A. Similarly, cos A and sec A, that is equal to 1, or in other words we can say cos A is equal to 1 upon sec A, or sec A is equal to 1 upon cos A, or tan A into cot A, that is equal to 1, or in other words we can say that tan A, that is equal to 1 upon cot A, and cot A, that is equal to 1 upon tan A. So these are some of the reciprocal relations that we have seen about the trigonometrical ratios of angle A. We have also seen that the quotient relationship. We have also seen the quotient relationship, which states that the quotient relationship so according to that quotient relationship, that also you have seen sin A upon cos A, that is equal to tan A, or in other words this can be also sec A upon cosec A. And similarly the reverse of this will be cos A upon sin A, that is equal to cot A for angle A, cos A upon sin A, that is equal to cot A, or in other words we can say that cosec A upon sec A, that is equal to cot A. So these are sort of some of the relationship that you have already known. Now in this chapter that we are going to discuss about the trigonometrical identities of that various relationship between that sine, cos and tan. Now for that, let us take an example of a right angle triangle in which this angle, consider that this is A, B and C. Now for this angle A, BC is the perpendicular, BA or AB, that is your base, and AC is your hypotenuse. So basing on that the Pythagoras theorem, we have already known that P square plus B square, that is equal to A square, or perpendicular square plus B square, that will be equal to that hypotenuse square according to that Pythagoras theorem. So now by dividing h square into both the sides, that will be getting P square by h square plus B square by h square, that is equal to 1. On the other hand, trigonometrically we can say that P by h, since it is sin A, so therefore it is sin square A plus cos square A, that is equal to 1. This is one. The first one, this is the first identical relationship in case of the trigonometrical ratios, that is the square of sine and square of cos, that will be equal to 1. Or from this relation we are getting more two relations. For example, that if sine square A plus cos square A is equal to 1, then we can say that sine square A, that is equal to 1 minus cos square A, and cos square A, that is equal to 1 minus sine square A. So now here what happens, from one formula we can derive two more formulas. So that is why I hope that it is not necessary to remember all the formula, rather we can use only one formula and from that we can derive the other formula. Now take another example. In another way we can say that according to the Pythagoras theorem, a square minus p square, that is equal to b square, or hypotenuse, square of the hypotenuse and square of the perpendicular, the difference between them, that will be equal to the square of the base. So now by dividing b square in both sides, similarly that will be getting a square by b square minus p square by b square is equal to 1, or we can say that h by b as it is your sec, so that is why sec square a minus tan square a, that is equal to 1, or from this also again two more can be derived. So keeping that sec square a here, tan square a taking to that side, we will be getting sec square a, that is equal to 1 plus tan square a, or conversely we can say that tan square a is equal to sec square a minus 1. So in this way also we can relate between that hypotenuse, perpendicular and base. Now take the third relationship, that is your hypotenuse square minus base square, that is equal to p square, or in other words we can say that dividing p square similarly just like the previous ones, we will be saying that a square by p square minus b square by p square is equal to 1 or cosec square A minus cot square A that is equal to 1, from which more 2 can be derived. So cosec square A that is equal to 1 plus cot square A, or cot square A that is equal to cosec square A minus 1. Now in such a manner that we are getting three identical relationship in case of the trigonometrical ratios taking an angle as A, and from that 3 we are deriving approximately 6 other identical formula relating to those trigonometrical ratios taking that angle A. So now in this page that we will see that how these trigonometrical identities or the square law of the trigonometrical identities can be applied. Now here I have taken some of the examples like 1 minus tan A whole square plus 1 plus tan A square is equal to 2 sec square A, that we have to prove. So I have selected 4 different types of examples. Now children, remember that whenever you are going to solve the trigonometrical identities, every time try to analyze from one side and go to the other side. It may be your left hand side or the right hand side, it doesn't matter. But however, it is important that you go from one side to the other side, but don't split that one on the middle, that is left hand side half and right hand side half, and then both of the sides that you try to prove that these two are equal. So now while we are going to prove certain identities, that time we have to remember some of the aspects while we are proving. It is more important that to remember that how we will analyze each of the side or each of the terms. Now what are the things? Now see to these 4 examples. In the first example you can find that there are 2 terms in the left hand side, whereas in the right hand side we have only 1 term. In the second example you have seen that here only 1 term and here also 1 term. Third one you can see that in one side it is given in case of a left hand side it is given in the fractional form, whereas here no fractions. In the fourth example I have taken, here it is given in the irrational form and it is given in the rationalized form. So while we are proving, that time we have to remember certain facts. Number 1, that the number of terms. Now before proving that one or before analyzing a particular side, first of all you see that how many terms are there. So number 1, the most important facts, that is number 1, that is the number of terms. So it would be better for you that wherever you will find out there will be number of terms will be more, provided the degree is same, degree of the polynomials that remain same. So in that case you go just splitting to that more numbers of the terms to the less number of terms. Now take an example. In case of that example number 1, that either of these left hand side or right hand side you can split anything and prove to the other one. But in my opinion, it would be better that if we will go for that LHS and prove the RHS, then it would be better and it will be easier. Now how will we prove this one? So first of all we have decided that in this case there are 2 terms and here only 1 term, and the degree of the polynomial in both the cases that is remain same. So that is why we have selected that LHS to split that LHS. For example number 1, that as it is given 1 minus tan A whole square plus 1 plus tan A whole square the LHS. So if we will split this one, now here we will be getting 1 plus tan square A minus 2 tan A plus 1 plus tan square A plus 2 tan A. Just see, this is A minus B whole square and this just like the A plus B whole square, and now we have expanded this one and we got that A square plus B square minus 2AB and a square plus b square plus 2ab. So if we cancel out this 2 tan a, 2 tan a, we are getting 1 plus tan square a, which is equal to the trigonometrical identities according to the square law. We are getting sec square a, and this is another sec square a. So therefore, this is equal to 2 sec square a, which is equal to our RHS. Now see that how simple this was. That in this case 2 terms were there and there are only one single term. So that is why we preferred that the 2 terms to split to get the 1 term. This is one thing. So remember that first of all you will see that which side has many number of terms or more terms in comparison to the other side, and go to that to split that more number of terms to get the less number of terms. Now second one, that we will see the degree of the polynomials. Consider that the number of terms in both the sides are same, but however in both the sides that the degree of polynomial are different. So it is better and it is easier and it is also convenient that if we will go from the higher degree to the lower degree, it will be better. Now take an example in case of the second one. We have seen that here one term and here also one term. Both the sides number of terms remain same, but however if we will see to the degree of polynomial, in this case the degree is 2, whereas here degree is 1. So in my opinion it would be better that if we will go for that LHS, to analyze the LHS to get that RHS, it will be easier. Now, so the second important thing that we have to remember, the degrees. Go from the more degrees to the less degrees, it will be better. So second one important thing, that is the degree of the polynomial. Now consider in case of the second example that cot square a by cosec a plus 1 whole square. We have to prove that that is equal to 1 minus sin a by 1 plus sin a. So if we are going for LHS, then in this case what happens? That in place of cot square a, we can write cosec square a minus 1 with respect to this cosec a plus 1 whole square, because as we know that cot square a, that is equal to cosec square a minus 1 by cosec a plus 1 whole square. But however, this is a form of a square minus b square. Cosec square a minus 1, it is given in the form of a square minus b square, which can be factorized as cosec a plus 1 into cosec a minus 1 whole divided by cosec a plus 1 whole square. So that is why now 1 cosec a plus 1 cancel out. So therefore we are getting cosec a minus 1 by cosec a plus 1. But however, we have to change that one to form of sine. Now the degree of polynomial already changed from second degree to that degree 1. Only the thing is that we have to change this cosec a in terms of sine a. And as we know from the reciprocal law that cosec a is equal to 1 by sine a. So 1 by sine a minus 1 divided by 1 by sine a plus 1, and taking that LCM, we are getting 1 minus sine a by sine a divided by 1 plus sine a by sine a, and cancelling out sine a from both numerator and denominator or from antecedent and subsequent, we will be getting that 1 minus sine a by 1 plus sine a, which is equal to 1 minus sine a by 1 plus sine a, which is equal to our RHS. So now see here that in both the cases the degree of the polynomial was different, but the number of terms are same. So remember that it is very easy to go from that the higher degree to the lower degree or to the lesser degree of the polynomial. So this is the second important point that we have to remember. First, number of terms, then degree of polynomials. Then if we go to the third example, here we can see that one of the sides is given in the fractional form, whereas the other one without any such a fraction. This is already given in that P by Q, or you can say that in the rationalized form, whereas it is not given in that way, it is given just simply without any source of denominator. So it is better that you go for the fractional one, split that one and try to go to the other one. So now the third factor that you have to remember, that whether the terms are given in fraction or without fraction. So from my point, that you go from the fraction to those where non-fraction terms are there. Take an example, example number 3. So where it is given that cot A by 1 minus tan A plus tan A by 1 minus cot A. So now in this case we can say, this is a sort of that left hand side we are going to split. Now in this case we can write cot A by 1 minus 1 by cot A plus tan A by 1 minus 1 by tan A. So which will be equal to cot square A by cot A minus 1 plus tan square A by tan A minus 1. Now, if we want, then we can change that either all these to sine and cos, or we can change that one to one term. So, now in this case, this becomes cos square A by sine square A whole divided by cos A by sine A minus 1 plus sine square A by cos square A whole divided by sine A by cos A minus 1. So, now this becomes cos square A by sine square A into sine A by cos A minus sine A, and this becomes sine square A by cos square A into cos A by sine A minus cos A. So where after cancelling that we are getting cos square A by sine A into cos A minus sine A. Taking this minus common, we are getting minus sine square A by cos A into cos A minus sine A. Then, now in this case, we will be getting, this becomes cos QA minus sin QA by sin A into cos A minus sin A. So factorizing this one, the numerator, we will be getting cos A minus sin A into cos square A plus cos A into sin A plus sin square A by sin A into cos A into cos A minus sin A. So cancelling these two, now you have got cos square A plus cos A into sin A plus sin square A by sin A into cos A. So therefore, this can be separated out, cos square A by sin A into cos A plus cos A into sin A by cos A into sin A plus sin square A by cos A into sin A. So therefore, we have got cos A by sin A, that is equal to cot A plus 1 plus tan A, which is equal to RHS. So now in such cases that it is better that you go to that the fractional terms and then from there you go to the other side to prove this one, those which are without any such a fraction. Then, so three things that we have to remember here: number of terms, degree of polynomials, and whether the terms are in fractions or non-fractions. And the fourth one, that is, in case of the fourth example that you must have seen, that here one is in irrational form, the other one is the rationalized form. So as you know already, so if anything, any questions are given in the irrational form, that has to be rationalized. So now it is more important that we will go from the irrational form. By making rationalization, we will be getting the other side. So that is why the fourth important thing that we have to see, that whether the terms are in irrational form or rational form. So if it is in irrational form, it is my opinion that you go to that irrational form, rationalize that and prove to the others one. So that is why fourth thing, that irrational, go from that irrational to the rational form. So for example, in the fourth one, that we have taken 1 minus cos A by 1 plus cos A square root is equal to be proved sin A by 1 plus cos A. So now in this case, the important question that rises here, that what is the rationalizing factor? What should be the rationalizing factor? What has to be multiplied? Now for that, you have to see to that of the right hand side. If you are splitting to that left hand side, then you go for that right hand side and see that what is the denominator here. It is given 1 plus cos A. So that is why 1 plus cos A, that has to be multiplied here to make it rationalized. So this can also be written as 1 minus cos A into 1 plus cos A, 1 plus cos A into 1 plus cos A. So which is equal to 1 minus cos square A by 1 plus cos A whole square root. But as you know that 1 minus cos square A, that is equal to sin square A. So it will be sin square A by 1 plus cos A whole square root. So taking out the square root, then we will be getting sin A by 1 plus cos A, which is equal to your RHS. So these are some of the points that we have to remember. First of all, you have come to know here that what are the trigonometrical identities, then the relationship, the reciprocal relations, the quotient relations, the square relations, and their application. And while we are applying all these, at that time, what are the most important things that has to be remembered? That is to be number of terms, degree of polynomials, fractions or non-fractions, irrational and rational. The most important thing at last I can say that none of the trigonometrical identities are difficult. And here one thing that you have to remember, irrespective of the nature of the trigonometrical identities, if we can change all the trigonometrical identities in terms of sine and cos, then it is much easier to prove that the trigonometrical identities. So hope you all must have you will like this video, share this and subscribe this.